All right, so now I took this apart best I could. Used some isopropyl alcohol and some acid brushes. Clean the back of that board up from that extra, not fretting corrosion, but extra solder flux that was on there. We cleaned all the extra solder flux up. Cleaned all the dielectric grease up here best I could. And then I also cleaned up the connector down here, the female side. Got most of that dielectric out I could for now. Now we're going to check pin retention, make sure that's good. And then we'll continue to go from there. All right, so I checked the male pins and the female pins in the car using my AS wave kit and some custom leads I made before to check all this stuff. So those pins, they all feel and look good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put this thing back in and go from there. Alright, I got it all back together. Like I said, I cleaned that solder flux up on the back of that best I could. Clean up the dielectric. Check pin retention, it's all good. Put it all back together. We're going to scope it again. Now, there is this thing that we could get. I may talk to the customer about it. It's called Stabilant 22. Again, Stabilant 22. It's like 60 or 80 bucks a bottle. I was talking to a guy named Zach McLean out of Arkansas about it. He mentioned it to me. It was Stabilant 22. He's helped me a lot with troubleshooting stuff and keys and mobilize your system. So I've been talking to him, and Zach McLean out of Arkansas recommended this, or we talked about this thing called Stabilant 22, and where it's not like dielectric. I guess it applies like dielectric. I've never used it, but it helps transfer the flow of electrons when current is being actuated if you have loose pin retention. So that's something we may go down that road and take a look at. What I'm gonna do now is hook up the scope next. All right, so I'm reading can high again. Everything's back together. I'm wiggling the crap out of these wires on the EBCM, PCM, and the TCM, and the BCM in the car. Reading can high and can low, and I get no change. The only change I got was in part 1 of the video. Well, some in part 2 when I induced it. But I got nothing when I'm wiggling all these harnesses, moving the computers around, looking for loose connections. Nothing. I mean, I'm moving the... Evan, can you come over here and watch this? Let me know if it changes. I was watching the change on the scope. Actually, grab the scan tool. Don't drop it. Come over here so I can see it. Turn it around. Hold it right there, buddy. You don't move. I'm going to wiggle these again. I'm wiggling pretty good, and I don't see nothing. No change at all. Oh, I just had something. Holy crap, I do got something right there. I wasn't even wiggling that time. Wait, it screwed up. Okay. Hold that right there, buddy. Let me go to can low real quick. There's can low. Can low's good. There's can high. Can high's good again.
A straight line.
All right, hang on, let me wiggle this again. What is going on? I barely touched it. I was down here wiggling it, and I wiggled it like for 15-20 minutes. Nothing changed on the scope. I literally started filming, just grabbed it for a little bit, stopped grabbing it, and then it... No, don't stop it, buddy. And then it started doing that again. Okay, hold it down a little bit more. Just don't drop it. Hold it right there. I'm going to wiggle again. That was so weird. Was it from me wiggling it, or was it just a fluke? And I'll put this back in here. Yeah, it's literally... I didn't really even wiggle it that much that last time. I literally just kind of grabbed it, and it did it. So I'm doing the same thing now, and it's not doing it. Unless there's a corrupt message on the bus, but it came and it went. We'll see if there's enough. If it threw any codes. It probably didn't do it long enough to throw any codes. We're going to have calm with everything. I just want to see here. if he got anything from it. No. I was going to say, well, it didn't do it very long, so it wasn't enough to throw any communication codes. Yeah, definitely not. So we'll pause that. Guess I'll wiggle it again and see. Move it around, tap on it. Nothing there. Well, more to come. All right, it's been sitting here for another 15-20 minutes. Key on, engine off, and no change. Evan's been wiggling it. We have nothing. I think what we're going to have to do now is drive it around while we scope it at the DOC and see. However, I'm still not a big fan of these arcs going up. And also, it goes from 2.5 to 1.5 low, which these do. But in part one of the video, they went from 2.5 to 1.5. But there's a few that went from 2.5 to like 2 or something. And then that kind of went away as soon as I touched the BCM in the first video, which I don't know if I captured that part on video or not. But I think what we're going to do now is drive it around, so we can get it to act up again, and probably get that stability in 22, and go from there. So more to come.